And what we need to do more, and especially this government, is communicate better. Having come from a communication background, we say information is power. And so for me, sometimes the government sabotages itself. Unless it's something beyond what we can read on the papers or the information we have, that this Rose Njeri had created a website to educate the public about the proposed law, which should be also be even the position that either Parliament or the Finance Committee should create avenues. And I think I've seen some efforts of even media houses hosting the Parliament and also the Treasury, and just trying to educate people on what is in the finance bill. We say, as I've said again, information is power. There's no agenda that will be brought in this country that will agree 100%. I think my colleague here said, even if we take 70 or 80%, it is better. But for this lady who is a mother of two, being arrested for creating a website, unless there's another crime, what she has downloaded, is it the true finance bill, or is she inciting people? But if it's just about education, I don't see the need of such arrest. And I think she should be among the first people who should be called in by the Finance Committee to come and give her views, because she has gone ahead and also listened to other Kenyans on maybe the issues that they have with the finance bill. And I would want to say that this year's finance bill, I don't think it's contradictory. I don't think it has any controversy. And the issues that are there can be agreed upon. And so it's good for people. We say the majority have their way, but minority also have their say. So it is important we give that freedom of speech and the freedom of expression, provided that you do not, this freedom will not go and surpass somebody else's right. Maybe misinformation or incitement.
Do you think we're a bit too overly sensitive because of what happened in our experiences from last year, that we are a bit too sensitive when it comes to discussions around this?
You see, in my mother tongue, sometimes there's a saying we say, if you have been bitten by a snake, even if you see you are touched by a small string, you will react because you'll have the experience of the snake bite. So maybe that's the kind of reaction that the government is having. But I think let's give information. Let's not repeat the mistakes of last time where there was no proper explanation, and so people became emotional, and people really fought, even came to breaking into Parliament because they felt that the members of Parliament were listening. I think it is important to give people that we are listening, we are open for suggestion, and we say this is a very important week where the Parliament and the Finance Committee, they are accepting and they are taking in a lot of suggestions. Last time, I went through what the Finance Committee had received and the suggestions, and actually almost 70% of what came to the public, they had implemented. Because the other finance bill had many things that were very controversial. But by the time the report was coming to Parliament, people didn't even have time to listen. Remember then, even the members of Parliament, they just came, by the fact that this Finance Committee first, the report was received in State House, so already even the members of Parliament who were not then, who didn't go to State House, felt like this is a decision that was being made there. But the only thing that the finance chair did was presentation and trying to explain to members of the Kenya Kwanza government the content and the changes they have done. Because remember, there were very many suggestions were given even by the members who are part of the government. So by the fact that he took time to explain to one group and not the entire Parliament, because sometimes Speaker, when there's a controversial issue or bill, he calls for a Speaker's Kamukonji, where members can sit and they can deliberate. And if there are issues that members are not understanding, because sometimes also within Parliament, we have issues happening, members are not aware. And so because they want to play to the public, or they want to impress the people they represent, even without reading the details, they'll take a side. And so on this one, I hope that we are going to communicate properly, have enough time for the